Most days I'd like to think I'm like most people, right? I'm not really left, not really right, more down the center. I mean, with my values and everything else, you could probably, definitely, definitely make that assumption and that argument on both sides, whether you see my point of view or you don't. There are days where I'll be bleeding heart, right? And then there are days where you see me be a raging asshole, right? Get up, do it for yourself. Get fucked with any kind of excuse, right? It's it's that polarity, right? That polarity. A lot of people like to take it and be like, "Oh, you got issues, dude. You're imbalanced." Like, no, that's every human being. Every human being. I would venture to guess, right? I would probably venture to guess that regardless of the environment you've grown up in, there's probably some things that you don't necessarily agree with that you grew up with, right? Right? And as you get older, right? As you get older and you start to understand nuance, right? Nuance is something we bring up a lot around here because everybody has this vision in their mind, right? They have a vision in their mind, but it's never reality. Notice I say reality and not truth because no one can argue with reality, right? It really just. Give me a second. Oh, migraine all day today. It's why I tell you guys, like, when anybody shows up and asks what I believe in, like what side of the aisle I sit on, right? That's why it's like I tell you I don't sit on any side of the aisle. I don't even sit in the middle. Like, if you guys want to know what I really believe, go go look up George Carlin. All right, go look up George Carlin and him in the last, what, he died 2012, 2013. I would say the last probably almost 20 years of his career. If you want to know what I believe, go watch George Carlin right there. That is what I believe. There is no left, there is no right, there is no center. All of these people went to the same schools, they run in the same circles. What makes you think they believe anything different than the other one? One is just choosing one side versus the other. It's you that gets manipulated into putting context to it. You. None of them are any different. Look at Trump, all right? Trump was a staunch Democrat for basically his entire life. And because the Democratic Party chose Hillary over him, he decided to be like, fuck you, I'm going to go run with the Republicans. Do you think he's Republican? No. The dude is still a blue-blooded fucking Democrat. He's just taking his views and his business over to that side to make sure it works in his favor. Like, you're the one that gives it the fucked up context, right? It, that's what I believe. We all have owners, ladies and gentlemen. We all have owners. That's what I believe. And if you end up saying too much, if you're smart enough, if you know things, those owners make you disappear. That's just the facts. I don't know if you guys know that. Around here, we don't choose sides. Savages don't choose sides. Wolves do not negotiate with sheep. It just is. Right? So, in saying that, ladies and gentlemen, why are you on any side? Why do you buy one side of bullshit over the other when every damn presidency almost slipped proves to you same race, new horse, right? Doesn't matter if you're left or right. They all do the same thing. It's just the blue side, pharma and tech get more money during that time. The red side, military. Which is the lesser of all evils for you? Truly, think about that. It doesn't come down to ideology or beliefs. It doesn't come down to any of that. It's just certain ideologies and beliefs get pushed if the red is in office versus if the blue is in office. But nothing actually changes. Nothing. So, why do you partake? Right? Why do you partake? Because you're scared to see the truth? That if you sat back for one term and did not vote, did not do a damn thing, it would prove to you, that your vote means nothing, that your voice means nothing, that you are a slave. Because last time I checked, your vote don't matter for shit. It's the electoral colleges. And the last time I checked, they're already pre-registered as to which way they're going to vote before an election even comes up. So, I don't sound so crazy when I put it like that, do I? Not really. So maybe you guys should wake up a little bit more. Just a little bit. Start taking accountability for yourselves. Stop bitching about life. Right? Stop bitching about life. Unless you're willing to do something about it. And I have roughly about 10 months worth of these to prove that I'm willing to do something about it. I'm willing to turn my life around. I'm willing to change, to make myself better so I can get myself back out there. So I can show that I'm still viable. Right? So if you're willing to walk the walk before anything, you can bitch and complain all you want. But if you're not walking the walk, if you're not being like, well, this is wrong, but I'm not going to stand up for it because no one else will, so it won't make a difference. That's part of the problem. That's not walking the walk. Walking the walk is doing what needs to be done regardless of anybody liking it or not. What have I told you about this, like, rebirth process, trying to find yourself again after everything is taken away from you and your life is shattered? It's not a pretty picture. You can put the rose-colored glasses on all you want, but it's not a pretty picture. Blood has to be spilled in order for anything in life to happen. Take the rose-colored glasses off. Take them off. Throw them away. See shit for what it really is. Now, you can play victim all you want and be like, oh, our parents and their parents and this, yeah. But it doesn't mean that you have to do it too. It doesn't mean that you have to buy into the cycle. It doesn't mean you have to buy into the system. It might be a little bit harder for you in life to stand out from the rest, but it ain't so bad. It's really not. I can tell you that. You can still have a prosperous life. You can still have a fruitful life. You can still achieve everything you want to do in this world and still feel better about yourself for having some integrity, for standing up for what you believe in before you ever say anything about it. What do we always say about these things, right? These things are designed to set the foundation for my mindset tomorrow. This is about growth, right? This is about change. Because I wanted to change. And I finally chose to change. And I have constantly put in the work day after day to make sure that ball continues to roll downhill and pick up momentum over and over and over again. Right? And people still want to come in here and bitch and complain. And do you guys even realize, like, the level of shit I let you get away with down here that most channels will ban you for? Do you not believe me when I tell you I'm a fucking savage, and 99% of you I would make cry? Do you think I'm joking about that? I am not. Like, you can be keyboard warriors down there and feel yourselves because you don't actually have to do anything about it. Oh, you're threatening a disabled person. How big are you? But that's what it comes down to, right? I'm willing to walk the walk. You all still want to escape from life. We are not the same, and we never will be. Most of you would lose your families and go kamikaze and try to destroy yourselves. I actually had an image of myself before I was ever a man and taught to be one. Because the image that I was given when I was born is, you are a disabled person. That drive, that independence, that everything was put into me in a way that it's not put into most of you, right? When I say the universe works by a different set of rules for me, I'm not joking. Like, imagine your muscles in your body being like a rubber band and then being stretched to its absolute end. And that's your body your whole life. That burning pain, that inferno. Do you think the laws of the universe work the same for me as for you? No, I was born on hard mode. You were not. Right? So keyboard warriors can sit down there and say whatever they want. You can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter to me. Because at the end of the day, you're criticizing something you will never understand. Do you know what it's like to be born disabled? In constant agony and pain? And then have to show up for life every second in a positive mood, even though you're like screaming inside? Like you're going insane, but you gotta hold it together? And you gotta help people deal with their problems? Like, yeah, you have it so hard, right? And then on top of that, I was born in a time where men are used and abused by women that treat them like employees. You treat us like employees. And then on top of that, you tell people like me who are disabled that they're not as valuable as people like you, right? We get in the way. And then somebody like me shows up that can actually show up in life like a normal person like you, and you feel threatened by that. You feel threatened by a person that's supposed to be a walking testament to people like him. You want to talk shit and you want to put it down because it makes you feel insignificant, because it makes you feel insecure. You're all pathetic. The fact that you choose left or right, the fact that you even have a stance on good and evil, light and dark, Those are human concepts, human lies, human bastardizations. That just shows how limited your thinking is. Oh, I can never do it. Well, you just exposed yourself right there. I guess that's why you want to crawl into a hole and die, and I'm willing to rebuild myself to prove that I'm not done. It really does get unfair when you're successful at everything. Like when you actually put your mind to it and you can provably show that you're successful at everything that you put your mind to, it's pathetic. It's truly pathetic. And people would rather sit here and bitch and complain instead of watching and taking notes so they can do the same thing. Because we know that nobody likes to do the work for themselves. They want to watch somebody do it so they can monkey see, monkey do on all the crap. So they don't actually have to do the real work. And then when it doesn't work out the same for them like it does for you, they want to bitch and complain about you that you lied, but really they don't know the internal work you did, right? Maybe they didn't do it the same way. Maybe they didn't do it at all. That's not my fault. Just because you want to monkey see, monkey do instead of doing it for yourself. Microwavable society. That's what we live in now. You want to be told what to think. You want to be told what to do. Are there any leaders among you? Are there any wolves left, or are you all sheep? Like, really? Does anybody even believe in going down swinging anymore? I don't think so. And then when somebody shows you that, somebody you classify as less than, it makes you feel bad. Good, you should. You should feel bad. You should feel bad that somebody who is disabled, that shows up for life better than you should feel bad. You're normal. I'm not. You were born on normal mode, if not easy mode. I was born on hard mode. Do you know how restrictive I have to live to make sure that I can show up in the way that you guys do? Do you even understand that? Do you understand, like, what I have to cut back out of in my life in order to show up at work and stand on my feet for 8 hours a day and do what you do, what you guys take for granted, what you guys bitch about? And it's not like you guys will ever even fucking care. You just look at it and be like, I'm glad it's not me. You exposed yourself. Right? You expose yourself by doing that. I'm glad it's not me. What does that say about you? Not so godly, right? Not so Christ-like, not so what? Catholic, whatever you want to put in there. That's not how you walk your faith. That is not. You don't demonize somebody who is a walking example for his people. Or is it that I make you feel that less than, like you feel like nothing, so you have to make me feel like that, like you have to try to crush me? The king does not negotiate with peasants. I told you I'm the biggest savage there is. It's because no one lives in hell like I do. You would not understand the pain I'm always in, especially when I stand up on my own damn 2 feet. There is no bigger savage than me. No, I was the one getting bullied, beaten, and broken when I was a kid. I had to become a bully to make the bullies stop. What the fuck would any of you understand about that? But you would rather criticize and be scared of something you don't understand. Put it down to make yourself feel better. It really does say a lot about you. It really does. Do you know why nothing works for any of you? Because fortune favors the bold. And everybody's too comfortable with these cycles that they get into, just so they can have this particular feeling. That sounds like addiction to me. Some people will say love, some people will say money, some people will say power or success. That's just addiction. It's kind of funny. And then everybody's got to turn into a hypocrite about it. Yeah, but. But what? I'll be made fun of. So, walk your walk. Be an example. I told you this shit's not pretty. I told you this shit's not pretty. But it works. But this shit works. Let's go back to my complaining about what happens to men when they're discarded. Okay, let's go back to complaining about that. After a woman deems you non-viable, right? And we already know a man's psyche is built around providing for his family, the people that he loves, because he's the man. That's what he's taught in life, right? Can any of you women out there actually be honest for 2 seconds and tell me, as a matter of fact, when this bullshit of treating men like employees started? Did it start with the dawn of feminism? Did it start then? If that's the case, I'm going to have a serious problem with that, because I supported my mom being a feminist. I supported my ex being a feminist. Like, I'm going to have a serious problem with that. If feminism is only the subjugation of men, like, go fuck yourself. I've been subjugated enough just being disabled my entire life. You can fuck off. I would rather go down swinging and you or me are going to die than deal with that. I'm sorry, but you might have run into the one person in this whole fucking world that cannot be controlled. You might have run into the one person in this entire world that cannot be fucking controlled. Now, don't mistake that. Alright? Don't mistake that comment for something it's not. Alright? Because at the same token, yes, I can never be controlled. But on the other one, I understand the need and the value of working inside the system. So, don't get it twisted. But I think I've bitched enough for tonight, right? I think we'll go bye.